My name is Peter Gustin, and yeah, I started Flow State Volley little over a year ago now, probably about coming up on a year and a half, year and a couple months. I spent the last 4 years as just a full-time recruiting coordinator. I work one-on-one with families. Before that, I was the volunteer assistant at the University of Iowa for 3 years. And so over the past 4 years, I have helped over 250 families now go through this process and work with a lot more now. In reality, with the amount of video that coaches are getting, you essentially may have anywhere from 15 to 20 seconds to catch a coach's attention and keep their attention. Kids won't change their approach touch number since they were a freshman. And, if a coach is looking at that on the court, if that's not going to fit the level of physicality that they're going to need in their gym, like, you don't want something like that to hinder your process. When a coach views your video or looks at your profile, like, what does that mean? If a coach likes a post, or it's the same as if a friend likes your post on social media. It just sets you up for highly unrealistic expectations. Like, we just had a girl who, her mom called me and she said that 5 days straight now, the school has looked at her video. Okay, well, we've emailed them. She's emailed them. Her club directors emailed them, and we haven't gotten a single response from anybody. Probably a sign. It can literally mean anything from they forgot that if they even watched your video yesterday because they watched so much. Sometimes they may have forgotten to mark you in UA. They have you on the list. They've got to go back and look at it so they can, put the eval in. If I want to go to school in Kentucky or Tennessee, like, man, I'm just all about those states. Well, go figure out exactly how many programs at each level even have programs, and then start your research from there. And that's a great way to, instead of staring at a blank piece of paper and going, where do we start? Well, that's a great resource and tool that you can do right there. Anytime a school looks at you, I think it's a great tool and opportunity to, okay, Central Michigan just looked at me. Oh, hey, they're in the same conference as Ohio. And okay, well, now, yeah, well, let's look at Ball State. Let's see, like, what do these schools have in common? Do they all fit my search proximity? Have I talked with my club director, my recruiting coordinator, coaches, whomever, to see if I'm a realistic fit for that program? 90% of the battle is just getting them on the phone with that coach for once. And then they get on they get on the phone with them, and you're like, how'd it go? And they're like, it's pretty good. And then the next thing you know, you've got them on a visit there later, and and they're like, yeah, amazing. Like, and they end up committing there, and they didn't even know the school existed, because what do we know? We only know what we see on TV. But that school is going to be a great fit for people, and too many doors get closed by not looking at those opportunities and scoffing at a name, or we're too embarrassed. We want to be able to tell our friends the big name school. Well, we got to stop worrying about what anyone else thinks. This is a process that is about you. It's about your future. It's about setting yourself up for life beyond volleyball, but most importantly, it's a holistic decision. And you know what? You can't play volleyball. You got to medically retire, or you just fall out of love with the game. Like, is this the school that you want to be at? Is this the place you can truly see yourself? You cannot commit to a school because you love the coach and the staff, because there's a chance they're going to be gone no matter how much they tell you they're going to be a lifer there. And if they go, whether it's while you're there or before you get there, like, you need to be able to say, you need to be able to say to yourself, like, yeah, if that were to happen, like, this is still where I want to be. And so you really have to learn about all those factors. So a couple of sort of what I would call like housekeeping items, initial tasks for all of you guys who are about to either start this process, or whether you're 17 or an 18 and you're in this process, these may be some simple things that you've overlooked that you really need to do. The first one is you absolutely need to get